What's up, guys? It's your boy James, aka Six8Jay, coming to you on this Sunday. We just had an incredible show at 9 o'clock. I want to thank you guys for joining back in. I look up and who do I see? The Crypto for Life family hanging out with me. What's up, Liz? My sister Liz in the house. Devon, Steve, Crypto Logic, Lower Level. Guys, appreciate you guys in a major way, all you guys that are tuning in right now. Before we get started, let me remind everyone here and everyone that might watch this recording a little bit later that my name is James, aka Six8Jay. Been around crypto since 2017, documenting my journey in the evolution of money. And by the way, guys, nothing we talk about on this show yesterday, today, or in the future should ever be considered or deemed financial advice. I am not, no comprende, a financial advisor. See, I know a little Spanish for those of you guys who might have took Rosetta Stone. I got like a D in Spanish, good Lord. Puerto Rican and black, and yet my Spanish is kind of bad. Poquito, no, a little bit. Crypto G, what's up, my brother? Used Car Fresno. Uh-oh, how you doing, James? What's up, my man? That must be my boy, Andre. Oh, my gosh, what's up, Dre? I haven't seen you in a long time, man. That dude, you talking about somebody who's an XRP guru. Now, here's what's so funny. I got in crypto in 17, and when I got into crypto, Dre and his family was like big XRP people. And that was one of the things that attracted me to, Andre, I know you are. What's up, Dre? Between him, his brother, and his dad, they got crazy XRP. These guys were buying XRP back in like 10 cents or something like that, Dre, something like that, right? Pre 10 cents or something like that. Dre's in the house, man. I appreciate you, my brother. I'm gonna definitely call you when the stream is over with. I got your text the other day, by the way. We've got Big Bro 10 in the house. Guys, look, I am so excited. What's up, Lower Level? I'm so excited, guys. I have a phenomenal. For those of you guys that might be, normally we talk about the markets, we talk about news and all that stuff, but not today. Today, I got a special guest. What's up, Diamond Hands? Welcome. I got a special guest, guys. This guy that I have on right now is somebody, just so you guys understand what he means to me, okay? For those of you guys that know my background from, and I don't know if Cypher knows my background like some of you guys do, pro basketball player, been in business for 25 plus years, crypto, semi-retired me and my wife 4 years ago. And when I got into this space, I started looking for people who were authentic, who shot it to you straight, phenomenal in what they did. This guy is next level TA. I ran across his channel after being in the space for a while. Phenomenal guy, brilliant as all heck, knows what he's doing. I got some questions lined up for him. Matter of fact, let me get my damn questions out just in case. And this guy is just so many different levels. Fitness guru. I remember one time I checked out his channel. His brother was like, he was like, at the gym or something. I said, oh my God, I need to get my, you meet someone or you see someone and then you're like, I got to step my damn game up. That's who he is, huh? Lord. Amazing crypto guy / Incredible Hulk. Let me stop. Diamond Hand, what's up, my man? Happy Sunday to you too, my man. So guys, help me welcome my man, my brother, CyprX in the house. What's up, Cypher?
What's going on, brother? How are you feeling today?
Good, my man. How you doing, brother?
I can't complain, man. It's a beautiful day here in California.
Now you're in California.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately, that's funny as hell. You know what's so funny about that? We left California about 4 years ago, and we started this journey when I told my wife, I said, if we could, because we were doing we were doing some staking, we were doing some different things. I said, if we could just make $10,000 a month passively, we can go live wherever, and then obviously our crypto was exploding. So we took off we were supposed to go to Ecuador, we went to Hawaii. My wife said, can I go visit some friends, family over there? So we went there, stayed there for a year, ended up in Vegas, and bought some property out here and stuff. And then had an opportunity to go buy a property in California a year later. So we're going year to year to year. We went to California and I was like, my God. And guys, look, I'm not trying to be funny, but it's definitely a different vibe, man. It is. It's like a state just ran by somebody who's just got a tight butt. That's how you feel.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I'm definitely, it's nice where I live, about a minute away from the beach, so it's cool having the beach in my backyard. It's definitely time to migrate to another more efficient and effective state because this place is falling apart.
Dude.
But it's been cool. It's been cool raising the kids near the beach for a little while, having an experience that I never got as a child.
Right.
Because I have the finances too. So it was cool letting my family experience that part of life. But yeah, it's time to get out of bougie California and find some better things.
Facts. Well, I'm excited, man, because you've done some extraordinary things. I love your story. You kind of gave us, gave me a little bit. Me and your relationship is starting to blossom now that I've, and shouts out to Crypto Navigator for having you on. That's where we officially got connected, but I've been following your platform for a while. Identified you as someone that just knows what the hell he's talking about. So, let's start with this, guys. How long have you been in crypto? And what was it? How long have you been in crypto, and what brought you to crypto? Matter of fact, before that, let me ask you this. Before even that, what was your background prior to crypto?
So right out of high school, I joined the military. I was 17, turning 18.
Wow.
Did a 5.5 year term in the United States Army as an infantry soldier.
Oh, thanks for all you did, man. Thanks for serving our country. Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
yeah, cool. No worries. Thanks for the support. After that, I was a private contractor for about 2 years. So I officially got out of the military in 2017. So prior military experience, and some contracting experience with the biggest electrical company here in the United States.
Okay.
I got into crypto. So interestingly enough, I didn't start to buy into crypto till 2017, but I knew about it in 2015 on my last deployment,
Wow.
where one of my NCOs at the time was just letting me know, like, hey, you're about to get out in the next couple of years. What are you going to do for retirement? You should start looking into this asset class. It's going to be the next big thing. And so I should have pulled the trigger in 2015. Unfortunately, I didn't till 2017. But
Wow.
yeah, that's kind of how my journey started with crypto. I was kind of just nudged on, and somebody of higher intelligence than myself at the time told me about it, and from there, it just kind of escalated.
So what? So that okay. So you answered the question. How long you been in? So it's around 2017. And then why you got in, because you were referred. This is what I have to ask you. So everyone that looks at crypto, obviously you see this big shiny thing called Bitcoin. And God knows in 2015 what the price was at that point when you looked at it. But so you look at this thing called crypto, you look at Bitcoin, which is really the almighty. It's what attracts everyone, and all the talk and speculation. At the time that you probably got in, which is when I got into 17, it was still called the joke. It was still called a scam. It was still called the dark web money. What made you get in, and what was the process in which you found XRP? Because that's not something that, obviously there was something that attracted you to go that route.
There's so many different ways to answer that question because there was an investor side of me that was getting involved in XRP. So I guess I'll answer that one first. But then
Okay.
obviously, of course, you get into the euphoria. Most people do surrounding XRP of these high price predictions. I fell victim to that back in 2017, and I was one of the people that got in on XRP when it was like 11 cents and rode the wave all the way up to $3 and some change. Didn't sell because I was under the illusion that it was going to go higher. I didn't know too much about the markets at the time, so I didn't really understand the profit taking narrative and dollar cost averaging and diversification and other assets and all the jazz that comes with investing properly. But one of the main reasons why I had an appetite for risk assets back when I first started investing is because when you look at traditional investments and the way that they perform compared to more riskier assets like crypto, on a 401k or a Roth IRA, for example, annually return, you're getting like 4.9%, you're getting 5%, 8%. Whereas if you go look at a digital asset like XRP, and I'm not here, touting the bandwagon of XRP, I'm very well diversified. I just want everybody to understand I'm not an XRP maxi by any means
Right.
necessary.
Right.
But if you go look at, just as an example, this year alone, from the bottom of 2024, I believe on like January 3rd, you could measure the bottom of XRP to where it stands today, and you're getting over 30% returns on any investments that you made at the beginning of the year.
That's huge.
You can't make those investments in traditional, ways of investing. So when I originally got into crypto, I understood those metrics, and I understood that because I was younger, I had a higher appetite for risk and I had a lot of access capital. And so, XRP just happened to be one of those assets that I first jumped into at the very beginning. So yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, a higher appetite for risk and understanding where the whole entire investment class as a whole is migrating over towards this new digital infrastructure.
Wow. And I have another question. I'm kind of following suit, and you have these questions, but I'm gonna go a little bit off scale here because you're extremely intelligent, dude. Younger than me, and I always give credit where credit's due. Big fan of your work, and I want you to let people know something, because you didn't just come into to crypto and you were brilliant. There's something that got you there. There's something called DYOR. You became a student of the game. How and why is that so important? For instead of people coming and just buying shiny things, oh Pepe, let me buy it. Oh Doge, let me Shikaka coin, let me get a bunch of that because I can get 15 zeros in one. Why is it important to know what you hold and to do your own research? Because obviously
Well,
that's what got you where you're at.
number one, the mainstream media projects an image of crypto that is obviously, of course, distracting to the average retail herd. Anybody that has common sense and can actually do research themselves by opening up bank documents or watching panel discussions of these systemically important organizations will come to the realization that the old outdated laggard infrastructure is changing hands to this new digital way of doing things. And so, if you don't know too much about the fourth industrial revolution or Web3 technologies, you really got to get hip. Artificial intelligence, data analytics, cybersecurity, you know, blockchain, CBDC, stablecoins, all of that is going to be the new way of doing things. I read a lot of documents and I follow a lot of large organizations, like, for example, Visa, the US Department of Defense, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, information that they put out. And they're the ones telling individuals, these large organizations, to be studying Web3 technologies. And so I tap into that. And that's information that's never going to make the mainstream. CNBC, Fox News is never going to go out there and tell you, hey, the old way of doing things, of transacting and making payments and paying your rent and doing all these things, it's going to die one day, and it's going to transition over to this new digital way of doing things. So you got to really take it upon yourself to zoom out and see the bigger perspective, how these digital assets are going to be used in the future. Obviously, of course, everybody's distracted right now because of the massive amounts of percentage returns that you can make on crypto in the short term, right, when in reality, like, a lot of people that come into XRP and expect these high bullish moonboy price targets of $100 to $1,000 don't understand that XRP was not created for you as a manual retail investor to invest in.
That's right.
And make financial appreciation off of. That's not what XRP was created for. XRP was created for cross-border payments to make it a lot faster, more efficient, more seamless to make interoperable payments from one jurisdiction to another, right? It's so when you understand that on a broader spectrum of things, what problem these digital assets solve, then it kind of really allows you to calm down and see where this is all headed.
Right.
If that in a nutshell answers the question.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think one of the things that people are trying to compare it to all other cryptos or so many different projects. And, it's almost like, and I'm going to say this being a little facetious, but it's like going out and buying and it's not a stable coin, but it's like going out and buying some stable coin or something that's is being used for something totally different than everything else in crypto, and then being disappointed because it's not doing what other crypto's doing. And one of the things that I always say is, yeah, it's following suit to the crypto market. It's kind of like, I always joke around like with Bitcoin. When it dips, we dip just like that, meaning that when it goes up, when it goes down, we move with it. But I think there's a time where it's actually adopted for the utility use case of what it was created for by institutions, not by, Michael Saylor or not by you and I, but institutions. And at that point, I think it detaches itself from everything else. Your take on that?
I think that lack of education is the number one reason as to why people, number one, get misleaded by their investments, right, and then obviously have a bigger expectation in the short term than they should, and then underestimate the long term. We have a tendency to do that as a human population, where because we're so, what's the word I'm looking for? We're raised in a way to where we are set to realize short-term gains, right? We go to school, we get grades, we get short-term returns all of our entire life.
Gratification, yeah.
Exactly. Instant gratification. That's the terminology I was looking for. We're bred to be that way. So when we come into this digital asset space and we invest in a digital asset like XRP, and we don't get that instant gratification, people tend to turn sour on it. When you got to realize, you got to zoom out. Number one, we're not even 6,500 days into this digital asset landscape. The digital asset landscape is not even 6,500 days old. That's number one.
Wow.
Number two, these large financial institutions that we're expecting to come and adopt these digital assets can't, because the risk is too high for them to do so right now.
Right. That's right.
That's not to say that they're not interested. They are for a fact. And if you do that research, that due diligence on your part, you will for a fact see that they are interested. But they all tell you that because of the risk, it's too high right now. And we know that financial institutions, they're focused on what two things: risk mitigation and obviously, of course, making money. They're profit-driven organizations. So if the metrics are too high for them to expose their assets under management or capital allocations, whatever the case may be, to risk, they're not going to adopt these digital assets. And that's due to lack of regulatory clarity right now. It's too high. Once that regulation comes into play and is solidified on a global scale, where jurisdictions all over the world agree on certain things to a certain extent, these financial institutions will adopt these digital assets. How do you know this? Because large institutions like BlackRock, like Fidelity, like you name a couple, right? They're adopting these technologies. So once one does it, they're all going to have to do it, or the ones that don't will then fall behind. And they know that. They know that the institutions that don't adopt will fall behind in the form of business and clients because they won't be able to offer their clients these services that other financial institutions will.
Right.
See what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So it's going to be a snowball effect over time. It's just that, like, to solidify what I was saying, people tend to they tend to overestimate the short term and then underestimate the long term.
Yeah,
if that
makes a lot of sense. A lot of sense. And here's something, because I'm going off my list now of questions that I sent you, because obviously in what you're saying and the brilliance and how you're saying it is making me think of other things. Why? And you may have an answer for this. Why is it that so many people that seem to be brilliant, and I use that word seem, to be brilliant in this space, you see them super bullish on Bitcoin. You think, oh, this guy must be brilliant. They're putting in millions, if not billions, and all these influencers, yet they just don't get XRP. Why?
That's an interesting question. I think it comes down to not understanding yourself as an investor. Like, a lot of people, they come into this space and they don't really truly understand who they are as investors. So let me make a case on this. If you want short-term gains in this market, or you come into this market with the expectation of making quick returns, then you should be more so a day trader, right? You should be looking for intraday price swings by understanding that 95% of the digital asset transactions in the space right now are due to day trading, right?
Right.
And I think that a lot of people don't understand that. So they buy these digital assets and they don't see the price appreciation that they are expecting in the short term, because it's not thousands of percentages. They get discouraged, and then, obviously, of course, human emotion comes into play and they start talking crap about XRP. I don't know. It's very interesting. I think that there's a misunderstanding of who you are as an investor. You really got to understand if you're a long-term investor or you're a day trader looking for short, quick gains.
Right.
That makes sense.
Yeah, no, I think it's a combination of that, and I think it's a combination of which is what you said. It's funny because you answered the question just moments ago when you said instant gratification, right? So you're absolutely right with that, and I think the second part of that is, hey, they want to push on. Hey, don't get it's stupid. XRP is stupid. Go buy Chicago coin. So I think a lot of it is they're pushing their own narrative, and go ahead.
Well, to like further your question about these influencers that talk crap about XRP but support Bitcoin.
Right.
Like, do you really think, like, okay, let me give you an example. Let's say a bank document, or let's say the BIS document. Like, when Ripple joined the BIS last year, I believe it was in like August, they were announced to be on some team with the BIS, right? Do you really think that these large influencers that already made it in Bitcoin, for example, who's that one guy? Da Vinci? I don't know.
Da Vinci,
you know what I'm talking about, right?
He's
always like, one day he's bullish on XRP, the other day he's not. Do you really think he's sitting down? Do you think he's sitting down and actually doing research on Ripple, the company, and doing research on interconnected webs that Ripple's making behind the scenes with other central banks globally? Like, no, he's not. He's not taking the time to do that. He's a multi-millionaire billionaire.
That's right.
And it's the same thing with individuals like Michael Saylor, or who's that other guy that's a Bitcoin maxi? And again, I don't have anything against Bitcoin maxis. I think that
Max Kaiser.
Yeah, Max Kaiser. You think he's sitting down reading bank documents about Ripple and XRP? No, like, so you really have to understand that the opportunity is not gone. The opportunity is just beginning. And if you as an individual, this is the way I look at it, to just solidify all this, I would feel much worse missing out on the opportunity of life-changing wealth. I mean, I've already experienced life-changing wealth because I got in early enough, but further life-changing wealth would feel worse if I missed out on that than if I lost the money that I have invested.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think it comes down to everything you're saying, and the fact that it's much like our government with some of these influences, these maxis. The dollar. Oh no, the dollar is powerful. Because they have the control, and it's the same thing with Bitcoin. Like, look, they got in so early, they don't want to believe that something can be greater than Bitcoin. It threatens to.
If you have over 1,000 Bitcoin and you bought it for under $100, then why the heck else would you be interested in any other cryptocurrency?
Exactly. And that's brilliant. I love it. So let's go a little bit, I won't say off of what we're talking about, but in a different direction really quickly. And I say this, and before I say this, this is not whether a person likes him or not, or you believe he's going to win or not, but I have to ask this question. Thoughts on John Deaton running against Elizabeth Warren? What does it mean, not for XRP Ripple, for crypto? The fact that someone's challenging that narrative, challenging that institution or that body that wants to keep people enslaved, keep people their foot on people's neck, to stop people from dreaming again. I think, to me, that's, his story in itself represents someone like myself who came from nothing and fought for everything. But just the fact that he's challenging the status quo. Or what they're trying to portray, crypto and the control and the corruption and all these different things, and keep people from being able to win in this space. What does that mean to you? Or do you think it's positive? Do you think it's negative? What's your take on that?
I think it's super positive. I don't really follow, what John Deaton is attempting to bring to the table in the form of changes, but I do know that he's very pro crypto. And I do know that Elizabeth Warren is, in my personal opinion, again, I'm not going to sit here and confirm nor deny this, but is a puppet to distract the masses, to shake them out of crypto. And I've shown people this in like physical proof, right? That I don't say anything. I want people to understand something about me. I don't project anything to my platforms or on social media that I can't back.
Right.
And so I'll give you an example. I have video clips that I sent you in the messages of systemically important individuals stating that illicit transactions in the digital asset space are actually less than 1% of the total volume and liquidity in the cryptocurrency market. So if illicit transactions are less than 1% of all the money that moves in crypto, but then you have Elizabeth Warren over here on CNBC and Fox News touting to the mainstream masses that crypto's a scam and crypto's illegal and this and that, of course the mainstream population is going to believe that, without doing in-depth research and coming to the realization that actually the most used currency for illicit transactions is the United States dollar. It is not cryptocurrency.
Facts.
And so, right, when you come to that realization, you realize that one narrative is being projected to the mainstream when on the opposite side of the spectrum behind the curtain, there's a real narrative and a real pro fight for crypto because it's actually very transparent. Any smart a terrorist or illicit organization would actually not use crypto because the blockchain is transparent. You can see that, like, that's the whole purpose of it. So it's actually kind of backwards. And when you do your research, you start to see that. Now, as for John Deaton, I think that over the course of time, the more positive individuals that come into leadership positions that are pro crypto, it'll only help boost this ecosystem, especially here in the United States, considering the circumstances that we've been under over the past 4 years.
Right.
So I think that anybody that comes into the space that is actually willing to get involved the way that researchers like you and I are, that's what I think we need. I think we need leaders in this space or in reputable positions in the United States that are actually willing to do the digging that is necessary to see how positive this technology can be for the world. Instead of thinking that it's only going to be used for malicious purposes.
No, I agree wholeheartedly. It's funny because when you're talking about first of all, I think anyone who's willing to challenge that narrative that they're trying to put out there and give Elizabeth Warren and Gary Gensler, SEC, a right hook. If you're willing to give them a right hook, hey, I stand with you, especially if it's for the right reasons. And it's funny because when you talk about Elizabeth Warren, I don't know why this movie popped in my head when I can't think of it, when she's was it like Bobby Boucher and the mom was like, she was calling everything the devil. It's the devil, that's I can't think of the damn movie right now with Kathy Bates or whatever, and it had Adam Sandler in it. I think it was like the devil skit or something, but he was like, it's the devil. Anyways, that's kind of how I look at Elizabeth Warren. Everything's evil with crypto. So what I was going to ask you as well is these videos. Now, there's one video that's about 1 minute, 16 seconds. There's another one. I could actually show those videos because they're very short. So can you let me, so the first video, do you want me to play it first and then show everyone what it is and then make a comment on it, or do you want to just play them back to back?
Yeah, sure. Both of the videos are just two systemically important individuals in reputable positions in the regulatory landscape in crypto and digital assets discussing and talking about what I just mentioned, confirming that, the viewpoint that crypto is used for illicit purposes is actually a misdemeanor and is not accurate at all. But the mainstream will never show you these video clips. So if you're on this stream right now and you're about to watch them, again, you're getting information that has on YouTube 100 views, 200 views.
Wow.
And it's just very interesting, again, which just kind of proves what I'm saying is that CNBC, Fox News, all these puppeteered mainstream media outlets will show you that Elizabeth Warren has this perspective on crypto, that crypto is used for illicit purposes.
Right.
But then if somebody went on CNBC and Fox News and handed Elizabeth Warren a folder that actually says otherwise, she wouldn't sit there and read that out loud, right?
Not at all.
Here you have these individuals who have much more credentials in the digital asset space than Elizabeth Warren does, which she has no credentials in the digital asset space.
None whatsoever.
No background in crypto whatsoever.
At all.
So, yeah,
okay,
go ahead.
I'm going to play the first one, which is 1 minute and 16 seconds. Here we go.
I'll repeat a little bit of that, which is the money used in offshore crypto exchanges internationally to fund terrorist organizations in the Middle East is a fraction of a percent. It is at best marginal. And what we're seeing from policymakers now, crypto skeptic policymakers, the most obvious one in the United States is Senator Elizabeth Warren, is an opportunistic attack on the industry. She has certain bills that she has been pushing, and those bills were dying, were not having much momentum. And following these attacks, she shifted her attention from Energy FUD right to Terror Nexus FUD to sort of opportunistically take advantage of that momentum. And so we are doing our best to combat that.
So what are some of the lawmakers trying to accomplish through this misinformation? Because I was listening to a regulator recently speak, and the concern there is, well, we don't have enough control, right? Like, it's not regulated enough, it's decentralized. We're now going to assert ourselves into this jurisdiction because of the fact that there's not enough regulation in some aspects of it. So it seems more of, wanting to maintain a level of control over things as opposed to,
Shouts out to Colia Carrington for that. So yeah, that was dope. That was awesome. So that's the first one. I'm gonna go right. You want to go right into the second one?
Yeah, sure, for sure. What was that? The one that you just played, was that the gentleman or the lady?
That was the gentleman interviewing the lady. I think her name was Colia Carrington, and she was talking to the gentleman in an interview.
Yeah. And then the second one is just she's a high-end regulator, I believe, from the UK and the EU, and she goes on to pretty much confirm the same thing.
Okay, here we go.
Regular hype cycle of innovation, and so that happens. The comment, though, I disagree with Matt, is that the majority of this technology is being used for nefarious purposes. That's just simply not true. We have loads and loads and years worth of data that demonstrate that that's not the case. Something like 1 point something percent or less than 1% of on-chain transactions is deemed to have any kind of illicit element attached to it. So that's a misnomer, and that's kind of an old school view. The regulatory treatment of these assets, again, I don't think element attached to it. So that's a misnomer, and that's kind of an old school view.
I love that. That's an old school view for sure.
Yeah. Awesome. So with this though, it comes to say it's the same thing with influencers touting these high-end price predictions in the now. It's the same thing as these individuals like Elizabeth Warren saying that crypto is used for illicit purposes. You have to have a much broader perspective of what's really taking place behind the scenes. I'd say that 95% of the population, which is extremely sad, is completely unaware to what's actually happening.
Absolutely.
Yes, you can make a lot of money in crypto. Yes, meme coins pump thousands of percentages and XRP does nothing, because we're on the topic of XRP. But you really have to understand that in the future, this technology will be utilized. It's not going away. We've had systemically important people like the director of the IMF confirm last year in November 2023 that crypto is not going away,
right?
That regulations are not going to crush crypto. Yes, of course, there's going to be some digital asset projects that go bye-bye because they're not going to be regulatory compliant.
That's right.
But the ones that do survive long-term are going to change people's lives for the early adopters that actually had the kahunas to get into this nascent asset class now. It's going to be very interesting to live through the next 5 to 10 years. That's all I'm going to say.
No, absolutely. We always talk about the 5 steps to success in this industry. I preach it almost every day, and that is, number 1, having a strategic plan. Strategic being that, hey, sometimes you have to change based off of how certain things coming to fruition, but a strategic plan nevertheless. Number two is do your own research. That's so important. Don't look. I have an opinion. CyprX has an opinion. We give our best opinion predicated off the information that we study and know, and it's a lot of times spot on. But you still got to go out there and do your own research. Number three is you got to control your emotions. It's the number one thing that screws people. Oh, let me time this. Let me time that. And oh, I feel this and feel that. This is not about feel. This is about making money. And number four, at some point you got to take profit, because it's great to say, oh my, I remember watching this insurance commercial a while back. And this guy was going to do his taxes, and he goes, I'm a millionaire. And then he looked at his phone, wait a minute, I'm a thousandaire. It was just the funniest damn thing as far as a commercial. I don't see it anymore, but, and then number five, do everything predicated off what your why is. What drives you? Is it your family? Is it your children? Like me, you have kids, so you know what I'm talking about. If they say if your why doesn't make you cry, it's not big enough. So, I can go to the gym. I look at you and like, oh my God, I need to go gym. CyprX has motivated me. And then all of a sudden something gets in the way. I might go for a couple of days and I quit. But if your why is big enough, if your why is great enough, you won't quit. And you tend to take those things more serious. And so that's kind of my 5 things as far as, to embody and embrace when you're in this industry. But yeah, that's let me see. My next.
I think I'll add on to your list.
Yeah,
I think that a lot of people that get nervous or get emotionally biased about their investments are over leveraged. Yeah. One thing that I've experienced in my trading and investing career, which I've been involved in investing and trading now for almost 9 years. It'll be 9 years in October this year.
Wow.
Is that if you have an overexposure to any asset class across the board, that's when emotions tend to overpower your judgment.
That's right.
Because you're nervous, you're worried about losing the money that you initially invested. And so if you are coming into this space, again, it's not financial advice, but I suggest that you don't overexpose yourself. Only invest with money that you're willing to lose, so that way you have no emotional attachment to it. All the money that I have invested in XRP, and I have a pretty large bag of XRP.
Right.
I've been accumulating since 2017. Any money that I've put into this asset class as a whole, I'm willing to lose. And I have diversification in traditional assets just in case. I have diversification in cash just in case. I have diversification in gold, in real estate just in case crypto does fail.
That's right. That's right.
So that way I don't have any type of emotional attachment to my investment. And I think that nascent people coming into this space, downloading an application on their phone because their uncle or their brother told them that XRP is going to go to an all-time high price.
Right.
They put their $1,000 paycheck into this space, thinking that in the month it's going to flip, their $1,000 into $100,000 or whatever the case may be. And then they fall short of their bills. They fall short of their important things that they need to pay off in their personal life. Then they start making irrational decisions on their investments. And so, that's an immature approach. If you're taking an immature approach to this market, then that's when all the indecisiveness and all the influencers online start to get to you, right? Take a more mature approach, zoom out, really assess your risk properly, and really understand where this is headed in the long term. Understand your goals, set yourself goals like you were saying and whatnot. There's such a strategic process to this investing game. And
I agree.
Lack of education is really why people are losing money in the space.
Yep. And you hit it right on the nail right on the head. And that's and the problem with that is they see something, and then maybe you caught it right before, maybe you got into space right in early, let's say July. And all of a sudden you saw XRP go from 50 cents to 90 something cents, and you're like, holy crap. And then that FOMO kicks in. And like you said, you over leverage yourself and boom. And that's definitely not the way to go. So no, I love that. The other thing is, another question I have for you is Ripple. Your perspective, is it a solid company? I mean, I know the answer to this, but is it a solid company? And if so, why?
I think people underestimate Ripple as a company. Like because let me just put it this way. We're entering into an environment where transparency and trust is the backbone of this new digital infrastructure. And so everything to a certain degree that Ripple is doing is made public. Now, there's obviously, of course, partnerships via organizations and companies that the companies are not willing to disclose. So that's not up to Ripple. But the vast majority of Ripple's partnerships and interconnected webs, you can go and do research on. They have connections to major organizations like Accenture, who helps build government digital infrastructure. They have connections to ACI Worldwide. They have connections to the BIS, to the ISDA, right? If you don't know who the ISDA is, just go research that acronym. They're connected to the IMF in certain ways, shapes, and forms. So it's like you can't deny that Ripple in some way, shape, or form has its hand. I was just reading a Reserve Bank of Australia document where they were talking about on the February 29th, connecting their new CBDC system and testing it out and whatnot.
Right.
And they go on to confirm in the document that MasterCard is a systemically important piece of the new financial infrastructure. Well, who just partnered with MasterCard back last year, 2023 in August?
Right.
Ripple. So you can't, like, I don't think people really understand how massive Ripple is going to be in the future. They will be the Amazon of the new payment system. Now, that's not to say that there aren't going to be other participants. That's
Right.
illogical to think. There are obviously, of course, going to be other successful companies, just like Amazon is not the only successful drop shipping company out there or international shipping company out there. It is the largest one, but it's not the only one. And so we're in the stage right now where Ripple is seeding all of these organizations, speaking in the back of their ears and connecting, networking with these events. And it's just like people don't see that because they're just not doing research. They just think Ripple, XRP not $100. Oh, crap.
Right.
No,
Exactly.
you got to really dig deep. You can even go watch panel discussions where Ripple representatives confirmed last year in 2023 that they have partnerships with major governments all across the globe, over 15 governments all across the globe, and they've only publicly announced 3.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, come on now, you gotta.
you know what it reminds me of, Cypher, and I don't know. I'm into, like, I like Marvel. I like this and that. I like different movies. I won't get into all of them, but it reminds me when you watch some of those what's it called? What do they call it? Like The Walking Dead? Like zombies, right? And then and the way they get their attention, they throw this bright light up and they go and they look up, and to me that's like how America's done with, like, Sam Bankman-Fried, FTX, or Binance, or Do Kwon sell, all this stuff is going. We're looking over here, and no one's paying attention to that
So
company
what's really happening?
that's really happening, and the company on the right that's really, that's not making a big stink. They're not all in the news, and they're not out there, paying all these guys, and then they're not on TV with the people from Shark Tank, and they're not paying all these senators. They're not doing these things, but yet they're so. What they're doing is so phenomenal. And it's like, if you just looked at it, and that's kind of goes back to what I was telling you when I asked you, why don't most people see it? Because, like, dude, how do you not see the freaking partnerships? Yeah. How do you not see the freaking acquisitions? Like, are you freaking crazy? But you'll go out there and pitch Shiba and don't get me wrong, I got some of these coins, but it's like, what is the long-term use case for that? So yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it's just people, I've read a lot of books, and one of the authors that I really focus a lot of my attention on is Napoleon Hill. And one of the things that he says that with every crisis comes with it the seed of an equivalent equal opportunity. And so, when you see things like, for example, the FTX debacle that took place that liquidated a massive amount of money from the crypto sector, coupled with higher inflation, coupled with interest rates and all these things that weighed on the digital asset space, real investors saw that as an opportunity, whereas the mainstream, because of the information that they were being projected at the time, was driven by fear, right? And so you really have to come into the space and you have to be able to fight that. So, for example, XRP, it's the same narrative, right? Think about for just 1 second. Why do so many people not like it? Why do so many people hate on it and talk crap about it? And if you go look at the individuals that are talking crap about it on the X space, most likely, because that's where the vast majority of people are getting their information, those people that are talking crap about XRP don't even have enough credentials to go get a job at Ripple. So why in the world are you listening to these people on X, on Twitter, on YouTube that don't even have enough credentials to fill out a job application to go work at Ripple?
Right.
It doesn't make any sense. When you could go watch somebody like Stuart Alderati, who testified in front of court, who literally said the XRP ledger, the digital asset XRP, and Ripple, the company, will be a piece of the new foundational financial infrastructure in the courtroom. Like, right? You understand that the severity of that, right? It's not a joke. It's just that people, again, they pay attention to what's being fed to them through these mainstream platforms, and instead shutting those platforms off and taking it upon themselves to just go do some research and then calm down their emotions a little bit.
Yeah, it's funny because it reminds me of the. I'm just being facetious here, but it reminds me of a person who goes on YouTube and learns how to fix something in their car, and then all of a sudden they get on Craigslist. I'm a master mechanic, and it's like I think what it reminds me of the fact that it's like people tend to listen to what they want to hear, and it's like if you take the time to just understand what's going on with Ripple, the things that they're doing is really a game changer. And I think that's one of the things that really has me baffled half the time is how people just aren't looking at that, at what they were created for, what they're actually doing behind closed doors. But yeah, that's something that's always got me, is how a lot of these powerful, and I say powerful, but these guys that seem powerful, at least to the masses on social media, just don't get it.
Well, one of the things, I think one of the questions you were going to ask was, how do I feel about the naysayers, XRP, right? And so for me personally, XRP is actually a top performer in my portfolio because I have a strategy behind it.
Right.
If like in my private community knows this, I don't buy XRP if it's above 50 cents, right? I only buy XRP if it's below 50 cents because my actual average on every single time that I've bought XRP roughly comes in at around 35 cents.
Okay.
Compared to where I was buying back at in 2017 and where I've bought over the years,
right.
My average is 35 cents.
Right.
So if price is above 50 cents, it's not discounted enough for me. Well, if you go back to 2020 when the court case started and you go measure how many times XRP has dipped below 50 cents, or even if you were buying at exactly 50 cents since 2020, your portfolio, if you dollar cost average any amount of money in XRP at 50 cents would be up over 500%.
Wow.
And that's just 50 cents. That's not if you would have bought lower or whatever the case may be. I'm saying if you just had a strategy where every single time XRP tapped 50 cents, you bought money, you put money into it, your portfolio would be up over 500% over the course from 2020 to where it is now. And so like people that talk crap about XRP don't have a strategy most likely, buy at tops, buy at pumps, buy when news fundamentals come out that push up price, then they get dumped on. They just don't know how to invest properly. And again, that reverts back to what I was saying. It's lack of education. It's lack of commitment to oneself to further dive into what they're actually getting involved in. Right. It's not just downloading an application, putting money into it, and then getting rich. It's not how this works.
Yeah, no, you're right. No, and it's funny because it's thanks, shouts out to who said that? Liz Herrera and Laura Lovell said Waterboy was the movie I was talking about. The devil. Yeah, that's funny. No, but it's funny because I think what it is that people globally hate banks, right? People globally hate banks. It's just in our minds that we hate banks. And I get it. And then you look at the fact that CBDCs are a representation of, banks, or at least that's, as far as that's how people connect it. So then, wait a minute. So Ripple is going to make all this better somehow. And I think that's where people's mind is, it's a banker's coin. It's a banker's. And I think that's how they put that evil thought of how they feel about financial institutions screwing them and everything else. They somehow put that on Ripple. And that's not the case. I love what you said earlier. You said they're like the Amazon. And I love when Brad Garlinghouse got on not too long ago. He said, we're much like Amazon. Like when they started off with books, it was just about books. He goes, there's so much more than that now. And so are we. And that was just brilliant when he said that.
Yeah. I also think too that people take into consideration these bullish price predictions and whatnot, which are fancy. And I do have a firm belief that in the future, XRP's price is going to be a much higher valuation than it is now. But like people don't take into consideration the environment in which we currently operate in.
Right.
And there's so many things that aren't solidified yet in order for these high prices to actually be materialized. And so, when they come in and they buy, specifically since we're on the topic of XRP, and it doesn't in the next month or two perform as well as a meme coin, they get misinterpreted and they get discouraged, and it sucks.
Right.
But I mean, at the end of the day, you really just have to truly understand what you're investing in. XRP, if you want short, quick term gains, like I mentioned at the beginning of this, you shouldn't be buying it to hold it for quick gains in the now.
That's right.
You should be learning how to day trade. You should be learning how to capitalize on these price fluctuations intraday.
Right.
If you want short, quick gains. Now, if you want long gains, XRP, in my personal opinion, is going to be a phenomenal investment in 3 to 5 years from now, when the new financial infrastructure is solidified and Web3 ecosystems booming and busting and mass adoption is taking place. But right now, utility ain't happening, people. There's too many things, too many factors that we still have to accomplish before we get to that point.
That's right. No, that's well said. And you're just mirroring or what I've been saying for so long, 3 to 5 years. And it's ahead of its time. It's ahead of its time. And so you answered the part about thoughts on people getting frustrated. So you definitely answered that. And so from a TA perspective, your thoughts and where do you see XRP in the short versus long term from a TA perspective, meaning that everyone's, $100 and look, what our realistic price points could be, what in the short term and what in the long term. And that's without, I'm not telling you to be like Valal or anything like, it could be good. No, just realistic. Yeah, realistic.
I'm going to be completely honest with you. So short term, me and my team are focused on intraday price swings because we're active leveraged day traders. You know,
Okay.
these price movements from 58 cents up to 62 cents are phenomenal movements for us. So intraday, you know, on the, let's just say, hourly time frame and below, looking for scalp positions, we're going to continue to take advantage of that.
Nice.
Now, as for the long run, I'd say anywhere between a year to 2 years, maybe 3 years max out. Because of the amount of XRP that I've accumulated, I'm probably going to start liquidating my position if we ever see all-time highs again, where I'll probably take like my initial investment off the top back at all-time highs. And then honest to God, the way that I see XRP is it's a coin that I'm probably going to hold for my entire life.
Yeah.
And I'm just being completely honest. Because I'm diversified, I have the ability to do that. I always invested in XRP and Bitcoin. I still hold a couple of Bitcoins. It's going to be something that I pass down to my children.
Yeah.
I'm not looking to, if it, I mean, you know, by all means, if it does hit these outrageous targets, $100, $1,000, I'm for it. I'll definitely sell a percentage. I want
Right.
my daughters to understand that their father took the initiative to invest in this new digital foundation because they will be using digital assets in the future.
Facts.
If you don't think your children, if they're Generation Alpha or Generation Z, they will be using digital assets in the next couple of years, especially when it gets integrated into the school systems.
Oh man.
They're already using tablets and whatnot. They're already pre-breeding them into this new digital era. But that was my goal with XRP. I initially invested in XRP with the mindset of 2030 and beyond.
Yeah.
So if we hit high price targets before then, so be it. As my projection, I will just say this. I think it's going to be a lot higher than it is now.
Yeah,
Plain and
for
simple.
sure. And that's a great answer.
Whatever that number is,
Yeah.
so be it. You know, I hate giving price predictions.
No.
I just think it's going to be a lot higher.
That's a fair assessment, and I love your whole thing because that's exactly what I felt like. Look, there's coins that I have right now that I'll cash out and enjoy this and enjoy life and all this. But for me, because I understand the potential where this is going with XRP, it's a long-term hold for me as well. I think that's brilliant. And, you know, and it's something I always say, do the things today that other people won't do in order to have the things tomorrow that other people won't have. That's exactly what you just said about your daughters. You know, it's that Rockefeller mindset. Like, sometimes you always think, and I know you probably had this thought too, like, what was my parents doing in 08? You know, or you know, I know they had $100 to put into Bitcoin, or I know, you know, I had 100. So it's seizing the moment and understanding, my God, I can do something today that changes everything. Because like you said, you come from nothing, just like I did. And I'm not saying our story's the same, but I mean, I'm sure you came from, you know, a very...
I came from absolutely nothing.
Yeah,
I'm from Baltimore, Maryland, one of the worst cities in America, you know? So,
facts.
and now I live in one of the most expensive places in the United States, and I'm the only person from my family that lives 2 minutes from the beach.
Dude, that's amazing, man. Wow, that's amazing. And so your success story is phenomenal, but I just love what you said about your daughters, man. It's like it goes back to that why narrative. You know, your why is huge. I can already tell. And like you said, it's if you understand, you said $100 to $100. I mean, $10 changes a lot of people's lives. $100, bro. $100, and I'm not gonna sit here. Oh, how much? You know, I would imagine if you're in any kind of position with XRP and $100, that's generational money. $1,000 is so that's what I'm saying. Like that potential. Like what on earth do you have, or any of us have, that we're in position to have that possibility? And I think that's how people have to look at it. Like it feels like the old Eminem song, I got one shot. You know, this one shot to get this thing right. And I think a plan and everything else is going to be part of it. I know you got a comment on that.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. Back when I first initially invested in Bitcoin, my first time back in 2017, and bought my first XRP back in 2017, I had so many people from my family and friend group saying, oh, you're going to take all your deployment money? Because I put in 75 grand at the time, both back into Bitcoin and XRP back in 2017.
Right.
That was all my deployment money.
Wow.
Well, my thesis was, well, I'm not going to put it into a 401k or a Roth IRA. I'm going to put in something that's going to give me much higher return on my initial investment, because I have the risk I can take. If I lose this $75,000, I'll just make it back over time. Who cares? But if I miss out on this opportunity, I'll beat myself up a lot more. And I'm so happy that I did not listen to those people years ago. I'm so happy. And you know what's even crazier is now those people have now turned around, are asking me, hey, how do I download Coinbase? How do I download Uphold? How do I get involved? How do I learn how to trade? You should have been listening to me years ago. It's not too late now. I don't think that it's too late now. I'm not saying that by any means, but again, this just goes to show that over time, remember what I said, is that in the short term, we tend to overestimate, and in the long term, we tend to underestimate.
Facts.
And I think that that's another thing that's playing out right now. I think that people right now in the short term, they're expecting these high prices because of meme coin, because of, again, the environment that we operate in.
Right.
They're expecting that with XRP. That's not what XRP was created.
That's right.
It was created for utility. It was created for use case. It was created to solve a problem. And that problem is still there. It's just that regulations are blocking it from being utilized to its full potential.
That's right.
And eventually over time, like people don't even remember what took place back in like 2010 with what market was very heavily regulated back in 2010, if I'm not mistaken. I'm having a brain fart if you remember. But anyways, long story short, it was a very unregulated market, and within 2 years, it became very regulated. And anybody that did initially invest got in at a specific time when the market was very fearful. And then look at where it's at now. It's completely boom and bust. It took off, and it's going to be the same thing with crypto. There's going to be some losers. There's going to be some winners. Clear as day. Ripple, just hold on. Ripple working with global central banks. Go look at the Digital Euro Association's website. Go look at the Digital Pound Foundation's website. Go look at the Digital Dollar website. Who's there? Ripple.
That's right. That's right.
They're probably going to be an organization that makes it. Again, I say probably because we can't sit here and say it's guaranteed, but it is most likely.
Right.
And so they rely on the digital asset XRP, right? So you just have to kind of put two and two together, sit back and watch the show.
Absolutely. No, that was brilliant. And I think, I think what you're saying is absolutely on point. I got a couple comments in here. Crypto Navigator said, "What's up?" He just jumped in. Crypto Navigator in the house. Shouts out to all the family that's here. Liz Herrera, Crypto Navigator, Rashad Williams. We got Iron Man in the house. Diamond Hands in the house. TJ Patterson. How you doing, my friend? Lower level. Appreciate you in a major way, guys. Marvin Davis, Yusef El Bebe. Love the name. We got Diamond. I said Diamond Hands already. We got Used Cars Fresno. So appreciate all you guys being here. Crypto OG, all you guys. So one of the things I want to ask you, what do you see crypto in the next 5 years? I think between 2025, 2030 is going to be crazy. What do you see in the next 5 years?
5 years. Interesting, right? That'll put us almost close to 2030. I definitely, let me say this. I have a firm belief that there's going to be some type of systemically important crisis that pushes this new digital transformation further, that happens over the next couple of years. So within 5 years, I think that'll take place. So everybody be cautious of that, be prepared for that. I'm not going to sit here and put my thumb on what that's going to be, but there's definitely going to be something that's going to need to happen in order to push the masses towards these digital solutions. As for crypto, I think that eventually it's going to be integrated into the back-end system where individuals like you and I and other individuals that got in early, we're going to know about it. But these people that are still, the 90% of the herd, they're still going to go to Starbucks and they're going to be swiping their Visa, MasterCard, and it's all going to be running on blockchain mainframes and whatnot. And, it's going to be good and beneficial for us because it's seamlessly integrated into the back-end financial infrastructure. And to the normal person, it's just going to be like they're using regular money, but it's just faster and cheaper to make payments.
Absolutely. No, that's spot on. From this point out, what I want to do is we're just coming up on our hour, guys. I know you guys have appreciated him as much as I have. Guy is brilliant. I want you guys to go over. I've got his X page pulled up right here. Where can they find you? I want you to talk a little bit about your YouTube channel. When did you actually start it? What do you guys do? Because I know it's just more than a YouTube. I mean, you guys have got so much going on there. It's absolutely amazing. I tune in all the time. Let these guys know what you got going on and what they can find you and what you guys are offering.
Yeah, no, for sure. Absolutely. So the YouTube platform, I think we started in 2020. I wasn't really aggressive with it until like 2021, 2022. Predominantly what we are is we're a research group. We're a collective group of individuals that are very focused on doing research that's outside of the mainstream perspective. So we don't really cover any mainstream topics. We only cover narratives and things that go unnoticed. So like we were mentioning, the whole individual representatives just telling you guys that crypto is not used for illicit market purposes and that less than 1% of the transactions in the digital asset space are not used for illicit purposes, but Elizabeth Warren on the mainstream is touting that it is. So we're really here to debunk what's happening behind the scenes. We're one of the only research groups that followed all of the adoption that took place during the bear market, trying to really keep people in the loop, keep people up to date with conferences and summits and things of that nature that are going on behind the scenes that never make the mainstream. So that's our research portion. And then obviously, of course, I've been an active day trader for going on 9 years now. So I obviously, of course, have a profitable trading strategy in this market that's worked for me. And I attempt to show people the realness of the market, no gimmicks, no hype, no retail trading bull crap that's going to get you wrecked in the market in a sense of paying attention to manual retail patterns and whatnot. I really dabble into the necessities of what it takes to actually learn a valuable and strategical day trading strategy that you can apply to almost any asset class if you take it serious. And so that's what CyprX is as a whole. You know, when I first came into this space, I never really had a solid mentor. I never had any cited guidance, and I definitely could not come across any valuable information that actually made sense. So I created CyprX for individuals to have an open space, to easily afford it, to really learn from a technical standpoint, a fundamental standpoint, and a psychological standpoint what's necessary to really become successful in this market. I myself am an over six-figure trader in this market. I made it really well off in the digital asset space in the early days back in 2000. I say early days, it's not early days, but 2017 era. I was able to pay off a lot of my debt. That's when crypto really became a big portion of my life, started taking on day trading. Now I'm a full-time day trader, entrepreneur. I own 2 businesses outside of YouTube and CyprX, and haven't worked for anybody in 5 years. So I'm here to say it works. And I'm just a normal guy. You know, I have no crazy college education. I have no upper hand on anybody else. I've just done the work. I've put in the behind the scenes effort that it takes to really become successful. And CyprX is a light in the darkness to show people that if you're just a normal person that has some discipline and some courage, you can do it too.
No, I love it, brother. And I think something that you said is, you know, the inspiration for starting your channel and your movement was because you saw something that was missing. It's the same thing with me. You know, I wanted to stay in the shadows when I got in this thing. You know, came in at 17, made life-changing money. I mean, I'm talking about out of all the things I've done, from professional athlete to businesses to all the, you know, owning semi-pro basketball teams. It's just crazy to think that this thing that everyone thought at one point was a joke created more money in my life than anything else in a short period of time that I've been in it. And so I love it. And then I wanted to be in the shadows, but then when I started looking around, I said, man, a lot of these guys are full of crap. Like even some of these trading, and that's what I love about you guys over there. But even some of these trading courses, once you get into them and you realize they're putting out these trades in their group, they're trading against you. It's like, dude, what the hell's going on? Like, so it's like the more I started to learn, the more it's almost like my frustration brought me out the shadows. I've never really shared anything. I don't think I shared this. I know Iron Man knows this, and so does JC, because we were taking trading courses together. That's how I actually started off. And I was just getting frustrated, and I was getting angry. And so instead of sitting back just making a bunch of money, I said, you know what, man, I got to speak. I got to say something. This is crap. And I need to, and then because my background is also speaking, I've been on some of the biggest stages around the world. If you go into my personal social media, you'll see that all over the world. Been in Success Magazine, a bunch of stuff like that. And that's not to impress you, but impress upon you that I just want to, you know, I spent so much time away from my wife and kids. I said, you know what, babe, I'm all yours. I don't want to be on stage no more. I'm not going to be in the public eye no more. I don't do anything to take away from you. Especially we've raised our kids. Let's just enjoy our life. But the frustration got so bad from people shilling, people not taking responsibility for what they were saying. I'm like, dude, and I'm like, you know what? Okay, wait a minute. Not only will I go in and be truthful and always remind people never sacrifice integrity for growth and keep it 100, but I'm gonna be smart, goofy, funny, and I'm gonna just give people a vibe that's so authentic. They're gonna realize, man, I am that guy. And what you just said right now is so freaking profound, because look, you don't got to be CyprX, you don't got to be 6-8Jay. I want you guys to understand, and I've said this 1,000 times. It doesn't matter if you're 6'8", if you're as brilliant as CyprX, if you don't have to be Joe Montana with a football or LeBron. Crypto allows you to be freaking phenomenal in whatever space you're in. Meaning that if you want to be a quiet millionaire, a voice, a TA, whatever it is, it gives you the opportunity to dream again. And man, that's what I love about what you just said, is because, hey, I don't got no education. I didn't know none of this stuff. But man, you came in and applied some principles. And that's what I always try to tell people. If you just embrace your, and I want you to speak on this as we get out of here. The problem I see with so many people, CyprX, is that they want to go, oh, look at Cypher, he's this and he's in shape and he's got his own business and he's this and he's like, you don't stop comparing yourself. Like, this is your freaking story. You could be wealthy in your story. It's just, this is the vehicle to get you there. Stop comparing yourself and embrace this damn moment and take it serious. Go ahead, Cypher.
Well, one of the things that, well, first off, when it comes to TA and whatnot, it's a process, you know, but at the end of the day, what we like to capitalize on here is we don't use any magic indicators. We don't use any magic Fibonacci, all that bull crap that you see on the internet that's like mainstream. We don't use any of that. We just use logic, fundamental analysis, technical analysis in a sense of just looking at the candlesticks and understanding time and market maker movement. That's it. You don't really need all this crazy jargon. You just need a logical understanding and principles. Then what you were capitalizing on is how you want to come into the space and be honest and kind of bring people light in a dark environment. What I notice about channels like mine and yours is we're not getting thousands and thousands of views. Why do you think that is? It's because we're not sitting here touting that these digital assets are going to go to, like, we're not putting out a whole bunch of hopium, you know, we're not putting out a whole bunch of crap.
Yeah.
And so I'm okay with that. I'm not here for the views.
We're not putting out thumbnails. XRP 1,000 next week, and that's what's getting all these damn views.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm not here for the hype. I'm here as an individual that's really trying to educate that I became a very, very wealthy individual. I'm not going to sit here and say I've met my goals, but compared to other people in my family, I'm very freaking well off, you know, and I did that through investing, through hard work, through understanding, through discipline and whatnot. And it's very doable. You just have to understand it takes time. Then you have to understand commitment, effort, waking up every morning and repeating, you know, a disciplined cycle. It's very interesting to come by. So, you know, the people that do want to put in the work, myself and James, we're here for you. You know, you can join our communities, you can watch our content, you can really educate yourself. And then the individuals that are just looking for the next hypey meme coin, you got a whole bunch of dummy YouTube channels that are shouting it out, go watch that content, you know? Because at the end of the day, you're just going to come back to us and you're going to realize, oh, I should have been paying attention to these guys the whole time. I'm just saying, you know, the people in my community, wow, winning. I'm talking about sometimes placing better trades in the market than I myself, which is insane to see. And it's really motivational to know that we created a community, myself and the other mentors at CyprX, where people can really come and make a difference in their life. So it's really cool to see. And just like you said, you know, this space offers opportunity on an unprecedented scale that we've never seen before. We've never, ever lived through this before. I mean, we're living through it now, but before this, there was nothing like this. If you're not taking advantage of it, you're really not thinking logically. Right. You know, if you're not taking advantage of crypto, Web3, and all these new technologies, you're not really, you're thinking too fear-based and you're not thinking logical. If that makes sense.
No, that makes a lot of sense. I love what Rashad Williams said. Gracias, CyprX got me in the LCX at 4 cents. It's funny because my buddy, who's a millionaire out here in Vegas, he got in the LCX at 4 cents. And when it had that run up, I was telling him, I said, man, make sure you take some of that off the table. But it was like a $300,000 pop within like 60 days. And so
I hate to brag, but you know, we make a lot of call outs like
we
awesome. Like two of the top performing assets in my portfolio right now are AGIX and FET. Back in June 2023, I think AGIX was roughly around 25, 26 cents. FET roughly around same price, 27, 28 cents. Right. You're calling it out to the community like, hey, artificial intelligence, start diversifying. You need to pay attention. And then boom, both of them are up over 1,000% right now. So yeah, you know, it's cool. Sometimes I don't like touting the percentage gains that we make in the community because I don't want people to think like that's what we're about. Like, oh, I'll just come in here and you're going to make a bunch of money, because it's not. But yeah, there's opportunities out there. You just really got to tap into the right communities.
That's exactly what it is, man. Hey, guys, you guys see why I love this guy so much and what he's doing in his platform. You guys make sure you get out there, follow him, subscribe, follow what he's doing. He's absolutely incredible. Your final thoughts, brother, before you get up out of here. Anything you want to say to the people?
Yeah, at the end of the day, don't let anybody just discourage what you're doing in your life. You know, if you have a solid foundation and you believe in something, then follow that. You know, don't let anybody just discourage what it is that you want to do in your life. You want to wake up tomorrow, you want to own a restaurant, figure out the necessary steps that you need to take to get to that point in your life, and then start taking positive action to get there. That's it. That's all I could say.
No, I love it, man, because you said something just a while ago. It's like they don't believe in you. They talk against you, and then they go back and ask for advice. It's brilliant. It's brilliant, man. That's brilliant.
I give it to them too when they come back. Like, I got you.
But do you know how humbling that has to be to go, dude? Are you crazy? You work so hard you save that $75,000, and if you put that away in 40 years, you could have, maybe 100, it's just crazy. And they're all this stuff. And I'm not just talking about you in general, but for those of you guys who are out there, there's so many people, man. I always say misery loves company. See, one of the things that I learned, and I used to talk about on stage all the time, is when someone's telling you that you can't, it's really because they don't want to accept that it can work. They're so scared that you might win. They don't believe in themselves. They're so scared. So that's why I always say misery loves company, because it's easier if you fail. Here's what's so funny. It's kind of like when you get on social media and you post, damn it, man, I lost my job, or damn it, I failed. You get thousands of views. But as soon as you say I win, you might get a few.
Nobody's there. Nobody's there to support you. Nobody's there to support you at the top. Everybody wants to attack you when you're down. Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting the way it all works.
Yeah. Isn't it? So, I mean, man, your story is motivating. That's why I want to have you on. I know you've definitely given people some phenomenal perspective on all aspects of crypto, from having a plan to, and I think that's one of the biggest things, guys. Don't listen to the naysayers. This is your moment. This is your chance. CyprX embodies that. He's a representation of that. Brother, I appreciate you, man. Love you, my man. And I look forward to doing a whole lot more with you here in the near future.
Yeah, no, 100%, man. Thank you for having me on. I might switch the role and put you on my show.
Hey,
I don't really do the whole interview thing. I try to stick to TA and research, but I definitely would love to have some individuals like yourself on the YouTube channel.
Man, so. I would love to tell my story, because I think my story, these guys have heard it. It'll definitely be something that I think your audience will embrace.
100%, brother. Well, yeah, I look forward to it, man. I look forward to the networking. I think we talked about this before. Now is the time to network. Now is the time to grow in this space and to make friends and to understand who else is involved. Because you got individuals like myself, you're feeling down and you need somebody to talk to. Hey, look, I don't know what's going on. I'm in a bad place right now. Come holler at James. I'm sure he'll give you a peace of mind, talk to you about some situations that he went through. Maybe it'll uplift you. Now is the time not to stay in the dark, but to start to open up the blinds and go into the light, telling you guys.
Exactly. And one of the things about you and I is that being authentically who we are, dude, at the end of the day, we don't have to apologize for anything. It's not about, oh, do we have a millionaires and thousands of views? We are authentically who we are. We put out great information. And I always say, man, in time, people will, it's funny because the last 2 weeks have been so freaking profound for me. I've had some interviews with some people, and like Lewis Jackson, he says, Monday I'm going to have an interview. He said, brother, I want to help explode your channel. Edo Farina said the same thing. DAI DM me and said the same. He's been putting me all over when you just stay the course, people will realize who you are, recognize who you are, and just authentically want to help you. And so, man, I'm telling you right now, that's how I feel about you. The feelings mutual, my brother, and you got a brother in me. Appreciate you very much for being on the show, bro.
100%, but I look forward to doing it again.
Okay, my man. Take care. Guys, my brother, CyprX. So, hey, guys, I'm telling you, what an incredible show. That's what, this show is all about, that uplifting, bringing you all the latest and greatest, the best information that's out there, guys. I appreciate you guys in a major way. I know we're already over an hour, so I won't say any more than that. Let me just give recognition's due. Tony Bags in the house, my brother. Hope to see you out here in Las Vegas. Iron Man said, hey, he told me the other day, me and CryptoJay, he said, I might get out there to Vegas. So appreciate you, brother. And I appreciate you too, my man. Hey, we're coming a long way. Look, guys, we're just getting started. That's what's so phenomenal. We're just getting started. Rashad Williams in the house. My sister Liz in the house. Appreciate you. Crypto Logic. Yusuf El Bebe. What's up, my brother? You know what, guys? I got to give this, this is for my man, CyprX. I know I didn't play it when he was on. Hopefully he's still watching. CyprX, brother, this is for you.
Hey, look, 4 years and it's still no cheers. If fear selling and I'm still all in. What do you do when your freedom is in illusion? How high will it go when the XRP get the moon in? It's amusing when you know that you ain't losing. Going back to go back, got them choosing. Which one? Bag it up. This one? Stack it up.
Greatest family on planet Earth. Appreciate you guys. Love you guys in a major way. Iron Man, Liz, Yusuf El Bebe, Rashad Williams, Crypto Navigator. Who else I got in here? Diamond Hands, Lower Level, TJ Patterson, Marvin Davis, Diamond, as I said, used card, my boy Dre. What's up, Dre? I'm about to call you as soon as the stream is over, brother. Crypto OG, Devon Steve's in the house. Make sure I didn't miss anybody. Guys, I appreciate you guys. Love you guys in a major way. Thank you for all your support. We'll see you guys mañana. Until next time, it's your boy James, a.k.a. Six8Jay. Peace.